Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lanolin, and we are back with episode 37. Ooh, I should make a hole in the ceiling. Back to episode 37 of my modded Minecraft Let's Play series. And I'm trying to get a tainted slime to spawn, or something like that, because I can't find a tainted biome, and I really need to scan something with taint in it for the aspect, because I'd really like to get Essentia Desolation, which is one of the things that we need to kind of move forward with Thaumcraft. So what I've been doing is throwing tons and tons and tons of garbage in here. Just absolute garbage in here. Just to have all sorts of crazy amounts of taint spawn and hopefully a slime or something that I can scan. I don't think I can grab this up with a bucket. Yeah, I don't think so. Ew. Alright, more junk. There's some clay in there too, why not? Even throw some baked potatoes. Nice. So yeah, this is pretty much what I've been working on. So like I said, this episode, I've done actually a lot of work as far as research and stuff. I've opened up some stuff in the golems, which we'll definitely get working on. I haven't opened up too much as far as the artifice stuff goes, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh yeah, might as well grab these nice paving stones of warding and paving stones of travel. Pretty self-explanatory. The warding ones, enemies can't pass through, and the travel ones make you run fast. Ooh. Yes, there's one. Thaumic slime. And there's the tainted aspect I was looking for. So, now we can kill this guy. Oh nice, we have a few of them spawning now. Hopefully maybe they'll drop some tainted goo or something along those lines. Which, I don't think we really need anything like that yet. But now that we have that scanned, I can work on this research. And I can make more. So yeah, I knew it was something to do with Victus. I knew it was Victus and something. I guess water was the answer. So yeah, as you can see, all the nasty flux will collect up there at the top. So at some point, what I'm more than likely going to do yeah, aspect orb. Aw. Sometimes you can actually get those guys in your whatever it's called, thermometer. But you can't scan them. So there you go. If you're having troubles ooh, did we get nice tainted goo? There was the last one I was looking for. Nice. I can't remember what that one was called. Ovidium, that's right. That's the last aspect I needed. So yeah, if you're having a lot of problems finding a tainted biome, which I have, as you can see, all over my world, I've run all over the place. Couldn't find a tainted biome anywhere. Even, well, I mean, I couldn't find it anywhere. It was pretty disappointing. Even around my quarry and everything, nothing. So, that being said, if you are having issues getting those last few research notes, this is how you do it. And all I did was just dump like a ton of stacks of cobblestone. Like you can look and see that there's almost 500. Because I think 500 is the max amount of anything it can hold. So just keep that in mind. Tainted goo has infected you with taint. Oh yeah, if you hold this stuff for too long, it'll like break. And yeah, do that. See, it just dissolved and now it's hurting me. Ouch. So let's actually get rid of this stuff. So yeah, as always, just right click with your wand. Or shift right click with your wand and it'll dump all the taint out. Which is never really a good thing. But, you know, we didn't really have a choice. Too bad I can't pick this up. Alright, so let me clean all this stuff up and I will be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and that actually took a hot minute to do, so keep that in mind whenever you're about to do this. It might be something worth doing outside, not necessarily in your Thaumcraft base. All of that is still up there, unfortunately. At some point I need to go up there and break the blocks and let the taint kind of fly into the atmosphere, and, you know, we'll let the next generation deal with it. So anyway, as we were, I think a really good thing for us to do is work towards being able to recharge our wand. Now to do that, I went ahead and grabbed Node Preserver, which, by the way, is the correct research to research if you would like to ensure that you won't completely drain your nodes. So that was my bad. I thought that was part of advanced node tapping. That was my mistake. But, you know, like I said, I always mentioned that you should be careful regardless because I wasn't quite sure, but now I am sure node preserver is what you want. However, I was correct in saying that the iron capped wooden wand still is pretty crap. So just keep that in mind, that this will still drain nodes completely, even with the research completed. So that being said, we're going to work on getting some nodes over to our base. I made this guy pretty tall for a reason, and I would really like to have each bit of research that we do, like each aspect of Thaumcraft, to be on a different floor. This floor is kind of dedicated to this guy, the Crucible, and research and the Arcane work table and stuff like that. This probably is something that should be all the way up at the top because it doesn't really take up much room, and of course the top's kind of small. So this will more than likely move at some point. Plus I can kind of spit all the taint out right out of the ceiling. So this at some point will more than likely be all the way up there, but for now it's going to be down here. What we are going to have down here though, we're not actually to yet, or at least we're not. At least I don't think we're there yet. But anyway, I want to work on ways to recharge our wand. Yeah, here we go, node stabilizer. So I went ahead and did this research because, like I said, I would really like to be able to recharge my wand. So the nice thing about this guy, the node stabilizer, is that it prevents the node from draining V from other nodes or being drained in turn. So when you get nodes near each other, they like to combine. They're all buddies, They're all buddies, and they all want to be the same big powerful super node because they're all friends and they all want to dominate the world. Well, we can't have that, all right? We can't have that allowed, all right? So we need to make sure that they can't combine into one big node. Plus, it would kind of suck because they don't combine evenly, They don't. If you have one node that has 50 aspect and another node that has 50 of the same aspect, they're not going to combine together into a node with 100. It doesn't work like that. That'd be awesome, but that's not how it works. They would more than likely combine into a node with probably much less than that, probably like 20 or 25 if you're lucky. So just keep that in mind. You really don't want your nodes to combine. So I went ahead and grabbed node stabilizer and harnessing V. Good. The node transducer here. I think the node transducer is what we're looking for, but maybe not. Oh, actually, maybe not. We're not quite looking for transducer yet, I don't think. So we'll worry about that later. For now, we really just want the node stabilizer. And then the advanced node stabilizer, we are not trying to work with this stuff yet. This is pretty intense. So not quite yet. Just looking around, make sure I didn't miss anything new. Oh yeah, I also wanted to work on Essentia distillation, which is actually in here, which is what I was working on right here, which is why we went ahead and got this taint. And all the freaking crazy taint all over the place. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this real quick off camera, come back, and we're going to get started on all the different tools that we need in order to recharge our wands automatically. Oh yeah. Alright, so I went ahead and finished the Essentia distillation research, and I went ahead and grabbed node in the jar. Now I showed this one because this one was pretty complicated. It was a little bit obnoxious. I don't think I needed this guy here, but when I dropped him there, I completed. So yeah, node in the jar. Pretty intense work. But now we can put nodes in a jar. And that's pretty key. Ooh. I think I know what that is. That's pretty spooky right there. Ethereal bloom. Pretty cool. Nice. So we got a few more of our Essentia stuff ready to go. I'm actually looking for something in particular, and I don't know why it hasn't popped up yet. Oh, there it is. I was looking for this guy. Infusion. Da-da-da. Magical infusion. Now that's something we're probably going to be working on. Well, we might get into it this episode, maybe. It kind of depends on what we need for the wand recharging. But, yeah. Cool. Some more warded jars. Essentia distillation. Thaumaturgy. Nice. I'm looking for where node in the jar was. I don't remember where it was. Was it under artifice? Well, because I want to get this node. There we go. Yeah, that's right. It was right here. Node in the jar. Nice. Isn't that cool? So warded jars have proven themselves capable of storing all manner of mundane and mystical things. We haven't quite got into the jars yet, but that's okay. And you believe that you have discovered another use for them, tapping or trapping aura nodes. By constructing a large version of a jar around a node and enacting your proper mystical formula with your wand, the node will become trapped inside the construct, which will quickly shrink to a more manageable size. The jar can then be safely picked up and moved around, but the initial tapping spell does have a very good chance of damaging the node. The node is also frozen at the state it was in when tapped, or when trapped, and will never again be able to recharge V it was missing. So keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that your node is fully charged before you tap into it. While trapped, the node is kept suspended and will not regenerate V, nor can V be drawn from it. It is possible to free the node from the jar by placing it in the world and clicking on it with the wand. The jar will be destroyed in the process. So, picking up the jar is picking up the node is a one-time thing, and placing it down is a one-time thing. Because whenever it gets picked up, it tends to shrink in power. It tends to be a little bit weaker than it was when you put it down. So, you really only want to move them one time. Now that being said, I think I'm going to have my recharging station down here. I'm going to have a bunch of nodes down here recharging all sorts of wands. Because there's a lot of room down here, and the recharging like little locations that I like to build, which we will see here in a little bit, they tend to take up a little bit of space. Like they'll probably take up this whole area right here. So we probably have enough room for like 3, and then stuff in the middle to get us up and down. So pretty neat. We'll see how it goes. Let's get started. So first things first, we actually need to make something to put the node for one thing. So we're going to need a node stabilizer. Not too terribly difficult, although we're going to need to make some arcane bricks or arcane stone blocks, which I'm pretty sure I have done already. Yeah, there we go, arcane stone. It's pretty easy. Any type of stone with any type of shard get you your arcane stone. So, do I have any stone over here? Not exactly. I have marble. So let's grab a bunch of stone. Do I have any in here? Nah, not enough. No big deal. I know where there's a bunch of stone. I just haven't hooked up all this stone yet to the AE system, so we have to come and get it manually. Oh yeah, if you've wondered why I switched that to obsidian, here pretty soon, probably within the next handful of episodes, we'll be able to make stone a lot easier. So let's do one of these. We kind of want to make a nice chunk of stone. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're playing if you're playing in a mod pack with no Tinker's Construct, but you have Thaumcraft, you can use this guy as a regular crafting bench, the arcane work table. What's also nice is that it maintains its inventory. So just keep that in mind if you don't have Tinker's Construct and you really miss being able to keep your stuff in the crafting bench. Thaumcraft has got your back. Oh yeah, we got to toss a wand in here. I really don't want to use this wand anymore. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to take the cap off of a wand, you hold shift and then hit whatever button that you have for your foci. In my case, it's F. So I hit shift F. And it takes it off and dumps it into your focus pouch. Sweet. I'm going to put him in here for now. I guess that's what he'll be good for. Oh yeah, a little bit more. Nice. I think that's good for now. Alright, so what's next? We want to make ourselves the node stabilizer. So we got our 2 arcane stone bricks. Just got to do a little bit of combination like that. Need to go downstairs, grab ourselves some pistons. Actually double check, make sure we have everything. Block of quartz, pistons, gold, and then some nitor, which I have 1 of. 2 quartz. 1, 2. I'm glad it doesn't take a whole stack of 9. I'd be sad because I don't have that much quartz. Oh, it's only 1 piston. All right, cool. I'll more than likely make some more nitor off camera and then make more of these guys. But for now, 1 is more than enough to get us started. So let's get this stuff out of here. Let's toss our piston in there. We have a wand in there. This wand is not going to be enough. Actually, I think fully charged. Actually, no, not even fully charged because of the extra that it takes because of the wand's piece of junk. Nitor, piece of gold. Let's double check this recipe. And boom, look at that, node stabilizer. This guy is really cool, and he looks really cool too. Right there like that. Look at that. It looks totally awesome. So right now it doesn't really do anything. Doesn't really do much at all. But that's okay, because what we're going to do now is go grab ourselves a node. And I know exactly the node that I want to grab. However, because this is the first node that I'm grabbing, I'm not going to grab that node. I'm going to grab a different node. However, I'm still going to grab a pretty good node. So what I'm going to do is get a few things together, and then we're going to come back in the nether, where I'm going to grab one of those nether nodes, because those nodes were pretty damn good, because they had a lot of aspects. And nodes with lost, there's two things that honestly that you're looking for whenever you're looking to create a wand recharging station, is you want nodes that have either a large variety of V, because, you know, that's pretty rare, and it's really nice to have all that variety all in one node, or a good alternative, or if you can find both, that's amazing, a node that has a lot of one particular type of V. And actually, let's grab this. We can recharge this guy. So like I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some stuff. Mostly I'm just going to grab all the materials that I need to make this guy. So I need a bunch of wood slabs, a whole bunch of glass, and that's it. Pretty much a whole bunch of glass. All right, I will be right back. We are back, and we're in the nether. I actually went ahead and did a ton of research off camera really quick because I wasn't quite ready to run over here and do this yet. I wanted to get a few more things researched, one of those being the wand recharge pedestal. Hell yeah. Oh my god, it needs a primal charm, really? Oh boy. Alright, well, recharging our wands might be a little bit farther off than I thought, but that's okay. That is alright. I have got no problem with that because we've got a lot of other cool things that we can do in the meantime. I also went ahead and researched the Silverwood wand core, Thaumium wand core, and I opened up some awesome new research that we're probably going to work on, if not this episode, next episode for sure. And that is infusion. Probably one of the coolest crafting mechanics, probably in modded Minecraft, honestly. So I'm really, really excited to check it out. Ooh, blitz. Got him. You know, it's a vanilla mob. I had no idea. Alright, so what are we looking for? Oh yeah, our nodes. We're here to look for that node. And let me... Alright, see, awesome. It also checks for if it's in the nether or not. That is pretty fantastic. I really like this mod. At first I was kind of like, I don't know, I can't get rid of this thing on the screen. You know, it doesn't show on my map. Oh, but nope. It's actually pretty amazing. Alright, so this is the node that I actually want to try and take with us. The only downside is it's actually more in the lava than I thought it was. So I might actually do this one instead. Now, actually, because we're going to be messing around, we're going to actually switch to a blaze instead of the bat. Alright, cool. So first things first, we got to encase this bad boy. I scanned you, right? Alright, good. It's not too hard, but in this situation, it's a little wonky because, I mean, the lava is right here. Now keep in mind, I mean, you're doing this just like you would a jar, so you got to make it look like a jar. I think one goes on the top, and then you do one of these. And then you remember that the node drops on the ground afterwards, so you want to make sure that you don't actually lose it. So we're going to do this. This is why I decided to be... Oh, man. Yeah, that's why I decided to be a blaze, because blaze are immune to lava, as are most things in the nether. So if you do decide that you really, really want to get one of these nodes, and you've, like, I don't know, started off Thaumcraft kind of early, you can kill, like, a pigman or something like that, because I'm pretty sure the pigmen are immune to lava as well. So anyway, there. Now this node's a little bit safer, so all we have to do is bust out our wand. Also, you need to make sure that this guy is fully charged, which he looks like he was. I haven't messed with him in a little while. In fact, I might actually hang out here for a little bit. Oops, I don't know why I switched back to a bat. That's a little dangerous. But anyway, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit, actually, to make sure he's fully charged before I do this. I'm going to go recharge my wand back over there, and yeah, I'll be back. I'm probably actually going to cruise around the nether a little bit to find all the different nodes to fill up my wand, because I believe you actually need a little bit of V to properly do this. Let's see. Oh wow, I don't even think my wand is big enough to do this. Never mind. I don't even have a wand powerful enough to do this. That's okay, actually, because, like I said, I researched a little bit more about the wands. I went ahead and grabbed the Silverwood wand core and the Thaumium wand caps. Thaumium wand caps, pretty easy. The Silverwood core, however, is a little bit more complicated. Oh, we need infusion crafting, huh? Well, that being said, we're going to put a pause on this. I had a feeling I was actually going to need infusion crafting to do this, but I was like, no. I'm just gonna work as far as I can get to until we need to do infusion crafting. So here we are. We actually need to switch to... Wow, so many bats. This has been really nice in my Departed series. So many bats. I had an entire episode dedicated to finding bats. That's how hard they were to find. But anyway, we need to kind of venture into infusion crafting. Now, like I said, I didn't... Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't actually need to take... We have the books now. Oh, whoa. Wow, that's a pretty good node. It's a good thing I popped down here. I actually really need some Ordo as well, so I'm really glad. Like Ordo research points. So I'm glad that I picked up a few. Nice. And now let's do this just a little bit. Okay. I like using the wooden wand just because, I mean, it's nice. It does hold a nice little amount, but, you know, you still got to be careful. So anyway, I'm going to meet you guys back up at the base, and we can get started working on the items we need for some infusion crafting. Wow, there's like nodes everywhere, man. Oh, I already looked at that one, actually. So, like I mentioned, infusion crafting is probably one of the coolest mechanics in modded Minecraft, let alone Thaumcraft. It's amazing once you see it. But there's a few things that we need to do to get this thing together. It's actually a multi-block structure. It looks really freaking cool. But there's a little bit of work that goes into it. Now, the ground bits can be however big you want. They're just kind of there to show size. But we're going to build everything here. The only thing I think we need is honestly just a whole bunch of arcane stone blocks. That's what it looks like. Oh yeah, we have to make the runic matrix, which isn't too bad. So we need any types of shard and an ender pearl. Which we have that. I have a bunch of stone on me. I think I will go ahead and grab another stack just to be sure. Let's pop on over here. Alright, so let's just look one of those. A few arcane blocks and any type of shard. Let's go with fire shards. Don't recommend using balance shards. Oh yeah, we need a ton of Ordo. Boom. So, runic matrix done. Very cool. Man, I'm gonna have to run around. I can't wait till we get this wand recharging going on because running around recharging these things is awful. So one thing I should point out, actually, I would like to actually have the runic matrix, the infusion crafting, up on the second floor because, yeah, I think that'd be perfect. So between this episode and next one, this episode we're going to build all the different stuff that we need, and then in the next episode, when we come back, I should have the floor ready to go. Hello? There we go. That was weird. So we're actually going to need a nice amount of these, so I'm going to make 10. That should be enough, because I think we need 10 total. In the picture, it only shows what is it, 4? But if you want to make sure that it's already like ready to go for everything, you want 2, 4, 6, 8. So you want 9 in total. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, 2 and 2, and then 1 in the middle. So we've got 1 extra, but that's all right. We can't help with that. Besides, they look really nice anyway. Look at that. They're super fancy. You can use them for all sorts of stuff too. Like, it can just be a decorative block because when you place stuff on top of them, ooh, looks all cool. So, if you like decorative blocks, arcane pedestal's really nice. Okay, so next thing's next. Make sure we have everything. So we have our runic matrix. We have a bunch of arcane pedestals. We need to assemble this, so we need a little bit more stone bricks. And the runic matrix. Okay. Oh, nice. We have some stone bricks, so we need to make a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Shards. I'm like, why isn't it working? Nice. You don't need too many. We just need a few more stone bricks, and we should be good. So that's pretty much it. Like that's all you need to get the infusion crafting up and running, or at least get it built. Like I said, we're going to build it next episode because I'm going to actually do some of this stuff, get a lot of the room built up and the floor and all that fun stuff. But we still have a few more things we need to do. The infusion crafting is actually it requires multiple bits. Not only do you need to build this thing up, it also needs something to grab V from, because there's no V like floating in the air. But that's okay. That is why we crafted this guy up here. Where's he at? The Essentia distillation, which we started at the beginning of the episode, actually. So with that, we need to make a few of these guys. And, of course, some water jars, which is pretty easy. Make some labels, but I'm not worried about that. How are you made? Not too bad. Furnace, crucible, alchemical furnace. So we need one of these. And I'm going to make a few, I think 3 arcane alembics is what we're looking for. So I'm going to make 3 arcane alembics. We don't need the alchemical construct just yet. All right, so nice. I think 2 alchemical furnaces and 6 arcane alembics I think would be perfect. Right, so let's do that. I'm going to come back. I'm going to gather up all these materials to make sure that, we're not spending too much time just kind of standing around. Yeah, I'm going to gather up materials. We're going to make these bad boys, and we can go from there. All right, so I started crafting everything. I was getting everything together until I realized that we need some silverwood planks, which isn't too bad, but to do that, we need to find some silverwood trees. They're kind of rare. They're kind of pretty. And yeah, they stand out, but again, they're kind of rare. Ooh, you know what? I don't think I scanned this down here. These guys despawned a long time ago. Nice. Always down to get a bunch more research points. So what I'm going to do, however, I know that this biome right here is actually, I don't know why these are square. That's a little weird. But I know this is a magical biome right here, and there's a lot of good Thaumcrafty stuff in magical biomes, which we'll talk about when we get there. But most notably, there are some silverwood trees that we can go ahead and grab. So I'm going to fly over there. I'm going to scan this node for sure. Ooh, you're pretty bright. Are you a bright node? Sinister fading. So you're actually the opposite of a bright node. So yeah, nodes can actually come in a few different types, not just, I mean, you probably figured that out by now with the hungry ones and the pure one. But yeah, they can also be fading, which means they're kind of going away. They're not quite, they don't recharge nearly as fast and a lot slower, which is kind of the same thing as what I just said. But there's a chance that they will actually go out completely and not recharge anymore. So just keep that in mind whenever you're grabbing your nodes. More than likely, don't want to grab a fading one. Oh wow, I think we made it already. To the magical biome? Yeah? Oh, this is a seasonal forest. I know there's a magical... Oh no, here it is. That's the magical biome. Alright, I will be back. Ooh, Sacred Springs. You know, there might be a silverwood tree here, maybe. Alright, we are back, and look at that. This is definitely a magical biome. There you go. Yeah, magical forest. And actually, there are nodes all over the place, which is something to keep in mind. Oh, nice. I actually didn't really have too many nodes with water in them. Oh, I didn't bring my wand with me. That sucks. That would have been really nice to be able to recharge this stuff. That's okay. Not a big deal. So what we're doing right now is we're going to cruise... Oh, there's one right there. Actually, there's a bunch. But here we go. Look how pretty they are. These are the silverwood trees. Now, what's nice about these silverwood trees is that more often than not, these guys, I'm not sure where their nodes went. They may have actually combined because they're so close. But anyway, more often than not, apparently not all the time, but there will be a pure node in the middle. You can, I'm pretty sure you can scan it if you're careful. Here you go. You can scan it. Ooh, it's a pure node. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're always pure nodes. The downside is that it's actually in the tree. So it's actually, like, impossible to get them. Like, even with a silk touch. Because even if you silk touch this, it still breaks the node. But that's okay. Because there's a bunch of nodes around here. And I thought you got the aspects out of it. But that's okay, because we're chopping down this tree. We need all this wood. So while I don't recommend that you break nodes, sometimes it must be done. Oh my god, we got a silverwood sapling. Wait, did we? Well, one dropped. It's just not quite entering our inventory yet. But yeah, silverwood saplings are very rare. Like, you're lucky if you get one from a silverwood tree. So it's really awesome that there's apparently one up there. If we can get it to come down. I mean, I see you there floating. There it is. Nice! Well, I am definitely going to plant that somewhere near the base. Because it's always nice to have a pure node near your base. Because there is a chance, actually, that when we grab that pure node, it won't be pure anymore. So, fingers crossed that it stays pure. But, you know, I'm not holding my breath. However, now that we have a sapling, we should be able to plant this guy. Oh yeah, and scan these guys. Always scan. The bee shroom and silver or shimmer leaf. Nice. Oh, actually, I don't think I've scanned any pigs. Cool. All right. Well, unfortunately, though, that is going to wrap up the episode. Next episode, we're going to come back. We're going to work on Essentia distillation, which is going to be really neat, and infusion crafting. Which, again, definitely not an episode you want to miss. One of the coolest aspects of Thaumcraft, and again, I've mentioned it many times now, probably one of the most interesting and in-depth crafting mechanics in all of modded Minecraft. I want to scan this because this looks like a pretty nice node. What can I drop that I don't need? I don't need these mushrooms. I don't really need the shimmer leaf either. The shimmer leaf has use. I just don't need it at the moment. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Be sure to come and check out. Why don't you get out of here? Stuff that's following me around. So yeah, see you next time, guys. Bye.